Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very interesting video because we have the rumors, the updates, the news, and the leaks. All very exciting stuff, and I truly cannot wait to see what's going to happen with the Switch 2 going into 2026. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. What do we have, like 3 days left in the year? So you would think the news would slow down just a little bit, but that is not the case at all. In 2026, it's setting itself up to be something incredible for the Switch 2. It's all very exciting. So we got some rumors, leaks, updates, news. We got what you're looking for. Before we get started, I have to ask, we are 200 subscribers away from 25,000. Something I never dreamed was possible, especially this year. So if you can, hit that like and subscribe button. It would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep the communities growing, and we have some major stuff coming in 2026. You're going to want to be a part of it. Now let's go ahead and get right into this video. So we have some new leaks for the next generation of Pokemon today, as well as a bunch of other stuff, but these Pokemon leaks are starting to get weird and wacky, and I'm starting to get very interested in it. Now, one thing I'm currently doing is I'm buying all the mainline games on the Switch, like the Pokemon games. I'm waiting on Sword and Shield to come in the mail. I just got Diamond or Pearl, I can't remember which one. I have Let's Go Pikachu. I own Scarlet or Violet, again, I can't remember which one, digitally, and I think that's all the mainline ones. The spin-off games like Legends Arceus and Pokemon ZA, they're cool, but those are one and done games for me. But like the classic Pokemon formula, I can play a million times. Even if the games are not great, I can play it over and over again. So I'm very excited about Generation 10 Pokemon. And what's really cool is we know this is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. And allegedly, this is coming in 2026. So these leaks are for Pokemon Winds and Wave. And we don't know if those names are legit or that's just like the code name currently. But I have to show you this new animation for Pikachu that is from this game that has been leaked out. And there's a couple things to notice. Number one, Pikachu is kind of glowing a little bit. And two, he's like morphing and changing shape. And it's just so weird. That's the only way I can explain it. Some people are calling it Majin Pikachu, like Majin Buu. And I think that actually fits perfectly. Another thing we're getting from these leaks is there is a massive city with electric architecture. That sounds freaking interesting, right? There's a Pokemon Professor silhouette with a face paint over. I'm not going to show you that one because I think that's an actual spoiler. And there's an idyllic island Pokemon Center, which would go into the Wind and Waves theme. Originally it was supposed to be like Greek islands, but now they're saying Southeast Asian islands. Very exciting stuff, man. So Pokemon ZA was cool. My biggest gripe was it was all set in one city. You know, it's all right, but I'm very excited for that next generation, and I'm optimistic that it's gonna be in the direction that we're all looking for, especially being a Switch 2 exclusive. And then quickly, before we get into some other bigger updates, I think there was an interview going on with Square Enix producers or something, but in that interview they talk about 3 games that are gonna make appearances or have surprises in 2026. One of them is Final Fantasy, probably going to be the announcement of the Final Fantasy VII Part 3 remake, maybe some other stuff. Dragon Quest, we know we have Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, and then maybe we get some kind of Dragon Quest 12 news. I doubt it though, honestly. I don't even know what the hell's going on with that game. But one of my favorite games of all time, I talk about it truly weekly at this point, is Nier Automata or Nier Automata. Now that it works on the Switch 2, that's cool, right? But from this interview, people are thinking that they're hinting at a Switch 2 port of this game, and I think it would just be great. Truly, I haven't played it on my Switch 2 yet, but I beat it on the Switch. It's a 10 out of 10 game. But on my Switch 2, with a Switch 2 port, I can't imagine the quality. And then hopefully, some way, somehow, the sales of that or the hype around it gets an update for a future game, because I truly don't know what the hell's going on with the Nier series at this point, but hopefully something is going on. They say they're preparing a little something, but don't get too excited with anticipation. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, we are about to get into 4 leaks. And a lot of these are like coming from official sources. Pretty cool stuff. I guess some of them might be rumors, maybe not. Who really knows at this point? But we're here to talk about it, and that's what we're gonna do. I'll start with a game I don't care about the most, and that's not to say this game is bad at all. I think it sold incredibly well. Also, I don't know how it would possibly come over to the Switch 2 due to some of the issues it had on PC, but I don't even know what I was about to say there. We'll just have to see. But what I'm talking about is Monster Hunter Wilds. I am not the biggest Monster Hunter fan, but I'm also like not a fan. I don't really care, I guess. Monster Hunter Rise is really good. I tried to go back and replay it recently, and I just thought, I don't really care about like killing monsters and doing all this stuff. I almost wish I could get like the Monster Hunter universe and characters in a different game, maybe like a turn-based RPG or something. But Monster Hunter is cool, and it really has become extremely popular over the past couple years. We have Monster Hunter Stories 3 coming to the Switch 2 in 2026. But what about Monster Hunter Wilds? Well, we have some recent leaks coming out of Japan, I think. I'll be honest, you can see what I'm showing you on the screen. I don't really know where the hell this stuff is coming from. From the source material, people are thinking it's saying Monster Hunter Wilds is potentially coming over to the Switch 2. Now, this would be amazing for a couple of reasons and makes sense for a couple of reasons. Monster Hunter is insanely popular in Japan, and if they can play Monster Hunter Wilds portably on the Switch 2, it would sell extremely well. I'm talking about like 5 million copies minimum. Obviously, it would sell in the rest of the world as well, but it is extremely popular in Japan. But as far as I remember, Monster Hunter Wilds had some tremendous issues on PC. Now, that doesn't mean it won't run on the Switch 2 and they won't do some finessing, maybe take out some assets, change some textures, lock it at a certain frame and make it 720p or whatever, but I just don't see how it would be possible in the current form. Capcom and Ubisoft are leading the way right now with ports on the Switch 2 and the amount of support they're getting from Nintendo on the Switch 2. So I could see Nintendo and Capcom working together to make this happen. But I'll be honest, I just don't really care. But it is cool for fans of the Monster Hunter series. Now, a game I have to remind myself is even a thing. And I'm like reading my notes right here. I can't even remember before looking at my notes. Is this game out already? I just don't remember. This is actually a game. And that's probably because the first one was so weird. And I'm talking about High on Life 2. I played about 5 hours of High on Life on Game Pass, and I thought it was really good. I thought the graphics were great. The gameplay was really fun. Your gun talks to you, and it got pretty annoying, but I feel like it's something I could go back and eventually beat. I know we got a Switch 2 part of the game. I think it's also on the Switch, but probably something to skip over there. I can't imagine it runs good over there. But yeah, on the Switch 2, I've seen some gameplay and watched a couple reviews, and it seems to be okay. But High on Life 2 on the Nintendo Switch 2 has been listed on several European online shops. This is something I can see being announced truly any day now and coming out maybe in the springtime or something. So I don't know if this is something I'll personally pick up because I don't even know anything about the game. But I think it's really cool because I think this is an Xbox game, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just happy to see a bunch of Xbox games showing up on the Switch 2, and then obviously we'll get some little random PlayStation games here and there as well. Now, a game we all figured would come over to the Switch 2 in one way or another. And I mean, it actually only makes sense for it to come over one way because we have a sequel to this game and we haven't seen a Switch 2 edition for that game yet, although I do think that's coming in 2026 as well. But we have a Switch game that was just rated for the Switch 2, and 9 times out of 10, that means that it's coming right around the corner, but I don't think this game would come by itself. So Pikmin 3 Deluxe was just rated on the PEGI board, which is Europe's like ESRB rating. And you can even see it was rated on the Switch on October 30th, 2020. For the Switch 2, it was rated December 28th, 2025. And I think this actually solidifies that Pikmin 4 is getting a Switch 2 edition. But I don't think Nintendo would just drop Pikmin 3 Deluxe by itself. Like, hey, here's a free Switch 2 upgrade for this game and call it a day. I think they would do this in a like a little patch of games. If I had to guess, about 4 or 5 different games. What games? Just pick any random first party games that have not got this treatment yet that will probably not get an official Switch 2 edition. Pikmin 3 is great. Pikmin 4 is also great. I still think no matter how good Pikmin sells or how popular it gets, it will always be underrated for whatever reason. I think Shigeru Miyamoto even knows that. That's why he shouts out Pikmin anytime he can. If you've never played these games, they're a lot of fun. They're not my favorite or anything, but I will say this makes sense. I do think some of the worst parts of Pikmin 3 Deluxe was some of the frame rate problems. So yeah, this is pretty cool. But what's really cool is this will probably show up along other games. So now we're about to cover a leak. We're just going to go over the surface of this leak. There's other stuff on the back end of this that I haven't really got to read too much into yet. But ladies and gentlemen, on Christmas, I released a video saying these are games, cool Switch 2 games coming in 2026 or something like that. And some of them were based off rumor, some of them were based off leaks, some of them were things that I thought was going to happen or will happen. In that video, I say, in 2026, I guarantee Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order are coming to the Switch 2. I guarantee it. There's evidence that I said this in that video. You can go back and watch it yourself. Well, the day I'm recording this video, which is December 28th, leaks came out today that Nintendo is insisting that all video game developments linked to the brand be released on the Switch 2. As a consequence of this, Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order, and Survivor would already be on their way to Nintendo's new console. So Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order are coming to the Switch 2, definitely in 2026, and I said this is going to happen 3 days ago. It just feels good. Obviously, I didn't have like any base of evidence for this. It's just something I felt strongly about. So it just feels cool when you think something is going to happen and then it eventually will happen. I wish I had pulled up this other article that I was reading earlier, but I think I was translating that as well. But it was mentioning a lot of games that Disney owns or is part of. And the list was actually pretty surprising. And I think in that article, but I'm probably wrong. I'm probably just having wishful thinking and wanting something to happen. I could have swore I read in that article that all of these games are coming in 2026, or they wanted them ported immediately. And there was like 7 or 8 games there. So Lego Star Wars, I think that's definitely getting a Switch 2 port, and it could use it. The frame rates is probably the worst problem about that game as well. But Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor are incredible. I beat both of those in 2025, knowing nothing about the games. Just found one of them on sale for the PS5 for $20. I think it was Jedi Survivor, and I could not stop playing it. Then I went and played Fallen Order, which is a game that came before it, and it was just as good, if not better in some areas. Jedi Survivor is like 120 gigabytes. So obviously a game key card, but still, man, that is crazy download size. So they would definitely have to trim some of the fat off this to get it sub 100 gigabytes, right? And even that is insane. So I just wonder how they're going to finesse that. Jedi Survivor is a massive open world game as well, so it's definitely going to be a feat to have this done. But if they can get it done, man, this is going to be awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, let me know what you guys are thinking. And just thanks for watching these videos. I know there's a million YouTubers, truly millions of them. And the fact that we're growing the way we are, and the community is growing the way it is, it just means I think we have something special over here. And I think 2026 is it's just going to be a massive year for us. So thanks for joining this community. Thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for talking to me on social media all the time. I literally talk to like 50 of you guys a day on Instagram and Twitter. And it feels like we have something special over here. I know this is me yapping at the end of this video, but I'm just very appreciative, and I hope that you feel you're a part of something, that you have a friend here that you can talk to about anything at any time. But I prefer video games to talk about. Yeah, I just think I'm trying to get to the point of, I hope you don't feel alone, because I'm here for you, and I always felt alone, but now I'm starting to feel like we have a place where we can come and talk about video games, and that's really cool. And I don't know how I went on this tangent at the end of this video, because it's not related to anything really, but I just had to say that. So hit a like and subscribe on the way out if you could. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.